Hey everybody, it's Janice with Creating Through Chaos, and today we're going to start this project off using this star from Dollar Tree. It's one of the unfinished wooden stars in the Crafter Square section. I'm going to trace it out on some scrapbook paper that has some music notes on it that I got from Hobby Lobby in a Christmas pack, but you can use any paper that you choose. Once I have it all cut out, I'm going to make sure that it fits correctly. And then I'm going to set that aside for a minute, and then I'm going to lay the paper sideways onto my star. And I want to get it so I know what size the edge is, because I'm going to paper that also. So I'm going to cut a strip of the scrapbook paper, the width of the star. And it took me 2 pieces to do this. So one long one and then another short one. And then I'm just going to Mod Podge that around the edge of the star. So I just put a little bit of Mod Podge on and then just started wrapping the paper around the star. And then once I got to the end with that paper, I added the other piece and then cut off the excess that I didn't need anymore. I'm just going to wrap that around, pressing as I go, and it kind of took a few minutes, so I had to hold it. And just keep going all the way around till you have the whole edge covered. Now that I have the whole edge covered and it's dried, I'm just going to take my micro sander and sand off the excess. Then once I have that all sanded, wipe off any excess and then use my little ladybug to clean up my mess so that I can Mod Podge the other part of the star. So I'm just going to clean that up real quick because that sanding, boy, does that make a mess. Now I am going to Mod Podge the star paper onto the star. So just add some Mod Podge and then lay that on, and then I also sanded off the excess of the paper on the top too, which made the edges of my star really rustic looking, which I was totally fine with. Once I have that all on, it was dry and I sanded it, I am going to take one of my ink applicators and I am going to add some brown wax around the edges of the star. And you're not going to really see the top of it, so I mean, really, it didn't need to be papered, but I wanted it papered just in case I decided to do something differently. So if you choose not to paper it, that's totally fine. I went around all the edges with the brown wax and just giving it a nice rustic look. I didn't do any on the top because, like I said, most of that is going to be covered. So just kept going around till I got the look that I was looking for. Then I'm going to take this Jello mold, tart pan, whatever you want to call it, and I just added a little bit of the brown wax to that, just dabbing it on, just to kind of give it a little bit more of a vintage look than it had. Somebody had cleaned it really well, so you could tell that like it was kind of too shiny, so I just kind of dulled it out with the brown wax. And then I'm just going to take some super glue and some hot glue, and then I'm going to glue the star right on top of that, and that's going to be our little base. And I got this at a thrift store for, I don't even know, like, I think there was like 10 in a pack for $1. It wasn't very expensive at all. And I collect them, so I've been looking for crafts that I can do to use them up, because I have an abundance of them. Every time I see them, I buy them. So once I had that stuck on, I'm going to take some of this glitter snow, and I'm just going to add that to the very top of the star. Like I said, this is all almost going to be covered, so you won't really see the paper. But I hadn't planned on covering the whole thing. I was just going to kind of leave pieces, but I think it just looks better covered. So you got to see the part that didn't really matter. Once I had that all covered with the snow, I also added some snow to these 3 white trees. They're just little bottle brush trees. Next, I'm going to add some snow text. I mixed that in with the glitter snow. I kind of really wanted it to have a textured look, but also have that sparkle. And the 2 textures just kind of gave it a different look, which I really liked. So once I had that all on, I'm going to take my trees and I just pressed it into the snow. And then I used the backside of a paintbrush to kind of dig out a hole so I could add some glue. And then I popped my little tree down. And I did this for 3 different trees. I did the trees in 3 different sizes. So one was like a big, a medium, and a small. And like I said, you just bore out the little hole in your snow and then pop your tree on. And I did that for all 3. So I did 2 in the back and then added 1 into the front. And I just kind of push some of that snow on top of the tree bases. So here's the third one. And look how cute they look. Next, I'm going to take some of that glitter snow and snow text. Again, I kind of mix them together. And I'm going to go over the bases on the tree so that you don't see the wood bases. So I'm just going to cover those up. And it kind of made the trees look like they were kind of on a little hill, which was super cute. They had this little truck from Hobby Lobby. And I put that right in front of the trees. Then I added this little mini bottle brush tree to the back side of the truck. Again, I put some snow on that tree as well. So I just glued that into the tailgate part, and then I dabbed a little on the roof to hold the top of the tree. And just held it till it wasn't going to pop up anymore. Made sure that the truck was sitting nicely in the snow, and that should dry really nicely in there. And then I just added a little bit of snow to the truck to kind of give it a little bit of a look like it's been sitting out in the woods. And finally, I decided that it needed something else. I mean, it's super cute as is, and you could definitely leave it like that. And I'm still really undecided on this part. So I took some of the lace ribbon from Dollar Tree, and I just wrapped it around the front of the tart pan Jello mold, and I tied it into a bow. And I'm still not sure like how I feel about this. The ribbon wasn't white enough. It's kind of like that. It's like an off-white, but it kind of contrasted well with the side of the star. So again, I'm really just kind of undecided on how I feel about the bow, but for now, we're keeping it. You let me know what you think, and decide for yourself if you're going to do it on yours. So then I just cut off the ends. Then once I had the bow on there, I just added this little star that I got at Snowflake, from Hobby Lobby right to the center of the bow, and I think it turned out so super cute. And I love using thrift store items in my projects because I have a love of thrifting, and I hope it makes you look at things at a thrift store differently. I especially love this project because I have so many of those tart pans and Jello molds, and I just love finding different uses for them. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you are inspired. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, don't forget to spread the chaos.